gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And we already live, man. So what's going on, folks? Good evening. Wherever you watching this from, welcome to Penalty Talk. I know you're probably wondering why are you tuned into the quiet hour and the midnight storm or the quiet storm tonight.
Past my bedtime, but I'm
yeah.
here.
No, this is not for smooth jazz. But
I mean, smooth jazz could work. You never know.
Do some lo-fi. Lo-fi gets to going.
I guess it could. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this playoff and stuff and everything after what we saw today. Georgia winning in overtime, Oregon pulling it out.
Trash.
Who?
That Georgia Texas game was trash.
That was good to the end. I mean, it was good.
Okay, it was good. It was trash the first 2.5 quarters, and then it redeemed itself toward the end.
Wow. I mean, that was a good.
It was a good game for two teams that had nothing to play for, pretty much.
Honestly, I'm gonna give my perspective on it once we get started. But yeah,
we don't need to run no intro. We could just get started out right now if you want. So yeah, anyway, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. This is the late show of our what we think the bracket's gonna end up being because we have congrats to our SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs, the Big Ten champions, the Oregon Ducks, first time showing up, taking over that conference. That's hilarious. Your Big 12 champions, Arizona State. Your ACC champions, Clemson, on a walk-it-off 55-yarder. That was crazy. SMU defense, what was that? Am I forgetting anybody? Oh yeah, shout out Army for the AAC championship. Boise State for winning the Mountain West. I think I got everybody right. I did.
Yeah. Well, the only other one would have been Miami, Ohio, but that was like an absolute flop, and Miami, Ohio just smacked Ohio like 38-3 or something.
Yep. All right.
Exactly.
Who's getting kicked out? Damn, Alabama's really gonna get booted.
Let's go ahead and get it started. So yeah, as of right now, I think we can go ahead and kind of demote the Mustangs.
Yeah, our top fours are guaranteed already: Oregon, Georgia, Clemson, Boise State.
Yeah, Oregon, Georgia, Clemson. I would
put Boise State at 3, to be honest.
You think? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Because Boise State's undefeated. 3 lost Clemson.
Well, 1 loss.
Yeah.
Or 2 lost Clemson, I mean.
No, Boise had 1 loss, I thought.
Oh, 1 loss for Boise. And a 2 loss Clemson, I believe. 3.
Yeah.
3 loss.
I agree with this. This actually makes sense. So with that being said, honestly, I think it's a safe bet to say that Iowa State.
I think Penn State goes over Texas.
Ooh.
Maybe.
I don't know if Clemson's gonna jump to 4, in my opinion.
Well, no, they'd have to go to 4 because they're the conference champion.
Okay, yeah.
So the only debate really on this is ordering and if Alabama stays in or SMU. Actually, honestly, you could also say Arizona State goes to 4 and you put Clemson at 12.
Yes. Ooh, you know what?
Yeah.
I think that one makes more sense. Or Arizona State at 3, Boise State at 4. Because Arizona State put a belt to ass on them. Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah.
They did. That's very true. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I like Arizona State at 3, Boise State 4.
Yeah. Because Arizona State looked darn impressive today.
Oh,
my God, they looked really good today. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona State can sit there. Clemson, I would assume, yes, goes to the 12. All right. So first things first. Since we got the 12 here, Clemson, Notre Dame.
Actually, no. It wouldn't be 12. I don't want to interrupt, but it wouldn't be 12 for Clemson because SMU would be below Clemson.
Ooh, okay. This gets interesting now. So who are we bumping?
So y'all think Alabama's getting bumped, right? The people would argue Alabama at 3 losses will get bumped over a 1-loss Indiana who has 0 effective wins.
Yeah.
0 ranked wins.
You would think, but College Football Committee would disagree otherwise.
Well, first things first, can we all agree that, like, I think Ole Miss, South
those 2
Carolina,
are gone, yeah.
Iowa State,
those 3,
Miami
gone.
Okay, yep.
I think it really just comes down to if it's between Alabama, Indiana, SMU. Those are the 3. I think that is going to decide that last spot.
Yeah, because I hate to tell Lane the truth, but yeah, Lane's going to be pissed in the morning. Lane is going to be pissed. Okay, so we got 12. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what are we going to do about 5? 5 Notre Dame is safe?
Yeah.
Fair. You think Texas slides only to 6, or do they drop a little bit further?
2-loss Texas, both to Georgia, or a 2-loss Penn State, 1 to Ohio State, 1 to Oregon. I think Texas 6, I guess, and you keep Penn State 7.
Okay. And then we're going to ride with Tennessee at 8.
Let's see now for the ratings. I think they would keep Ohio. They would want to keep an Ohio State, Penn State game on a whiteout, which would move Penn State to 7 and Ohio State to 9.
Well, I mean, 7 has to play 10.
Oh yeah, 8. I mean, move Penn State to 8. My bad.
Move Penn. Okay, I got you. So we're switching around Tennessee, and
yeah, because I think Tennessee would play Alabama, and
if Alabama stayed in.
If not, it would probably be Tennessee.
Let me pull up schedule for SMU. SMU's Ohio. 2 losses are Clemson and BYU, I believe.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Or 3 losses, 1 to Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma.
They lost to Tennessee too?
No, Alabama. Didn't they lose out Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Mr. Sassor.
Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and
all right. Rank wins for SMU: Pitt, Louisville. That's it.
Pitt and Louisville. Oh, that's not strong.
And your 1 loss is BYU. Meanwhile, Alabama would be their ranked wins are obviously Georgia.
Oh, they did lose to Tennessee.
That was Alabama here.
Alabama lost.
They lost to Oklahoma. So your ranked wins for Alabama are 15 LSU, 21 Missouri, and 2 Georgia. And also win over South Carolina.
Yes.
Here's what I say. Take Indiana and switch. I could see this happening. Indiana against Ohio State again, and then Texas against probably Alabama or Tennessee, and one of those other 2 teams would face.
So what you're saying is you would keep Alabama in at 11, SMU's out, and then you would give Penn State, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So 8 and 9 would be Penn State, Tennessee, and Ohio State in the Indiana.
Yes.
At 7-10. No wait, 8-9 would be Ohio State. And
Ohio State would
8 and 9 would be, or Ohio 8 and 9 would be Ohio State and Indiana, and then maybe Indiana would be bumped to like 7 or 10. I guess I don't know.
All right, no, it'll be.
I'm just thinking. I feel like I could see Texas playing. I could see Texas playing Alabama or Tennessee. Either one of those 2. Indiana.
You'd see a Big Ten rematch and an SEC rematch.
I could see that happening.
And it seems like this Clemson Notre Dame one down here is the only one that I can actually see happening too, because these 2 seem like they've become inseparable here the past couple of years.
We always see them. That was basically a default ACC game.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's the only one that you can guarantee is going to happen. I think.
Yeah.
Unless they keep SMU in.
Yeah, which honestly, low key, I'm feeling like SMU might get the boot tomorrow.
You really think Clemson's gonna? I don't know if Clemson's gonna slide in right there. I feel
Clemson's guaranteed in because they won the ACC. It's the issue is if SMU has a strong enough record and case to keep in over Alabama.
Because Alabama right now has the 15th toughest schedule in the country.
And their win against the SEC champion is kind of hard to argue against.
Yes. Because I was looking at it earlier.
Now, one could make the same argument for Ole Miss, but it's an Alabama rating game to a Ole Miss game, which brings us back to the SMU schedule where they have a loss to BYU on it and only wins to Pitt and Louisville is strong enough to keep it over an Alabama team that has already beaten LSU and Georgia as their headline wins. And mind you, both of them the Georgia game was in Alabama, right?
The Georgia game was in Tuscaloosa, yes.
Yeah. And the Alabama LSU game was in Baton Rouge. So Baton Rouge ain't an easy place to go in and win.
That's true.
So just things to put into perspective, I guess. Because when you go, I feel like the top four, like how it is right now, I think that's a lock.
Yes.
4 is a lock. 1 through 4 is a lock. 5 is a lock. I think 6, you could make the case for Tennessee maybe to go to 6, even though they didn't play the SEC champion, but I doubt Tennessee jumps to 6. So I think you keep Texas probably 6 because I don't think Penn State's record is strong enough to get them over Texas, and I don't think Tennessee's is either.
Okay, here it is. I have it now. So SMU's strength of schedule is 75th. Alabama's is 18th.
Yeah, I don't know about this, guys. I mean, SMU looked good in that second half to Clemson, but it was rough until that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then even still, too, South Carolina's strength of schedule is 15. Ole Miss, their strength of schedule right now is 31st.
And Ole Miss, on the other hand, we're saying Alabama has to win against the SEC champion. South Carolina has the win over the ACC champion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's like that does dig a hole for SMU, unfortunately.
I feel like a lot of people right now are like, when you watch the Twitter timeline or whatever, there's like a lot of, I don't want to say recency bias, but there's a lot of people saying SMU is going to get in for sure because the game was close. But then again, it's a Clemson team that's not exactly world beaters that you're going to the final drive with, and you let a kickoff return to the 40-yard line with 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then you let an easy pass come up the middle to get to the 38 in one shot. I don't know, man. That was like terrible clock management on defense.
Let me go ahead and delete that tweet I said about SMU has a way in, because that was definitely
No, they have a way in. I wouldn't say it's like their door is shut or not, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, honestly,
I don't know how much you can say that Alabama loss to Oklahoma was a fluke.
So let's see. Oklahoma's strength of schedule is strength of schedule for Oklahoma. Oklahoma had the 4th toughest schedule in the country this year.
Now see that? That is why I say it's kind of like you got to say something for Alabama in that game. I mean, that pick 6 kind of flipped it because that game was tight until the pick 6 from Milroe.
And honestly, for those that are wondering, I'm going based off ESPN analytics from the College Football Power Index for this. So just going by the strength of schedules. Right now, Georgia, third toughest strength of schedule. Texas had the 32nd.
Yeah, Texas has their own issues. People are saying put in Arch. They have a Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning. I don't think neither of them are quarterbacks that can win you a championship, to be honest.
Their defense.
And Georgia has the same issue with Carson Beck because Gunner, what's his name? Gunner or something. Starts with that.
Gunner Stockton.
It starts with a Stockton or something. Yeah, I didn't want to say John Stockton. I'm like, no. But I was like, is this Stockton? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but Gunner Stockton, he wasn't. I mean, he had a good first drive, but like after that, it was just kind of like meh. from him. Yeah. I don't think you will have a Hurts to a situation coming from that. For anybody wondering, yeah. And also Kirby Smart recruiting quarterbacks. I noticed a trend. I pointed it out to JPeeps. I mean, if you notice who Kirby recruits, it's a pretty glaring trend that's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, like with Kirby, it's like he's that old school SEC style. Like he's gonna beat you down. He's gonna grind you to death.
He's gonna beat you in the trenches. He ain't need a quarterback to win it.
Yeah, because I mean, heck, you saw how they won the game. That was an old school SEC type game. That's what it was.
And Carson Beck comes in for one play, wins it all.
Hey, sometimes that's all it takes.
Hey, two overtime wins for Georgia though. They shown they can win it in the clutch.
Battle tested. Yeah. 100%. But honestly, like looking at this, I can vibe with the 5-12. I can vibe with the 8-9. 6-11. Honestly, this is kind of where I think a lot of Northerners were kind of hoping, like, oh my gosh, you know what? Like, you know, Alabama and Georgia and all these teams are gonna have to come up here to Big Ten country and they're gonna have to play. That ain't the case no more. That ain't the case no more. That's the way this is shaking out. Right now, if I'm Penn State, I'm probably worried because I'm getting an upset Ohio State team that has an extra game of film on me, and they're coming into my house for what will be a whiteout in late December. Exactly. And I'm probably shaking in my pants right now because you know you can't beat them. If you're Clemson, you probably feel like, and I think they can beat.
I think Clemson wins that game.
Yeah, I do too. I think Clemson can beat Notre Dame, whether it's in South Bend or whether it's in Death Valley. I think Clemson can win that.
Yep.
To Alabama, you got a chance to redeem yourself if you do get that 10 seed, because that I can see happening.
Well, I think honestly, I'm gonna be real. If Alabama does get in, and ain't gonna be as a 10 seed, it'll probably be as the 11 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're gonna. I honestly think Alabama's gonna face off against Texas. They're gonna face off
if
Texas.
They keep Alabama in, it's for the Alabama Texas ratings.
That's what I can agree with that. I can get with that.
It's gonna be. This whole thing is really gonna come down to how much politics are gonna be at play in this whole selection thing.
Yeah.
Because they made it 12 teams for a reason. It ain't for who's going to be the best teams in it. It's going to be for which one's going to make the most money. Let's be all real about that.
Mm-hmm. She just said a word, bro. Just said a word. Yeah. That is facts. So, do we think so? Indiana travels to Neyland, and then Alabama travels to Austin.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see this one. But let's just say, for devil's advocate, if SMU does get in, you would see Clemson. I would say Clemson goes up to, I should say, go across to Texas.
I say go up to 10. I'm gonna put them.
Okay, I can see it too. Clemson go across to Tennessee.
Last year's Orange Bowl.
Yeah, that was gonna be a real
Orange Bowl from a couple years ago.
Or whatever year, how many years ago it's been.
You would send Indiana to Texas and SMU to Notre Dame. This is for the, how do I say this properly? The football correct, like no politics in play and no rationale, just strictly based off records and no strength of schedule, no nonsense, no money, no ratings, nothing like that. This is strictly football like records. It'll end up like this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. I agree.
Now, back to if there was politics, it would be how it was just now.
Oh, I can go back to that.
Funny how we say politics and then it's Alabama in there.
So I mean, if you want, we could screenshot that and say that's what. I'm going to put a text box like scenario A and scenario B. I feel like that's the only two scenarios. I don't think you can. There's no world chance you'll see an Ole Miss, South Carolina, or Miami get in. So I feel like there's only two scenarios for this whole thing.
So scenario 1.
Yeah. We don't need no scenario A or B or C or D or E.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we basically eliminated all that at this point.
Yeah.
So Yeah, we'll roll with that right there. Scenario 1.
Yeah, no,
Voila.
Google.
Good smile for the freeze frame. Take it. Got it.
I'm just goofing it. Anyways, back to the thing at hand. Who was I gonna check? God, I forgot. Was somebody else supposed to check and I forgot? No, my brain forgot. Damn it.
Well, Indiana's schedule 65. Tennessee's is 29.
It'll be a good matchup, though. I can see that.
Oh gosh, I'm forgetting who was I supposed to look up. Alabama. That's
Black Knights.
I just want to double check Alabama's.
Schedule.
Alabama, Auburn. I just wanted to go through their whole schedule again. Okay, so they lost one score to Tennessee. Mercer, you can also play for Devil's Advocate on the other side. We did kind of for SMU. Devil's Advocate for Alabama. They have the win against one of the top FCS programs in Mercer.
Oh, yeah. Mercer's basically headed to go play North Dakota State next week.
Exactly. So I would just include that one in it. I mean, you have a bowl team. Let's see. How many bowl teams they played here? Western Kentucky standings. I don't know what their standings are.
So, okay. Let me see. Western Kentucky.
I'm pretty sure Western Kentucky's bowl eligible.
They're 8-5. They just
one bowl eligible, 2 bowl eligible. I'm just going by how many bowl eligible teams they played. Wow, Wisconsin is not bowl eligible. That's
they had a
failure for them.
So 1, 2.
They started off good and then they just fell off a cliff, man.
6,
wow.
7, 8, 9.
I mean, outside of Wisconsin, their whole team's against bowl eligible teams.
Not all. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the 12 10 of the 12 teams on Alabama's schedule.
Auburn too. I forgot. Auburn's not bowl eligible.
Football. Mercer's in the FCS playoffs playing against North Dakota State.
I forgot Auburn.
Yeah, Oklahoma got the 6 wins after that. After the Alabama game.
Alabama win.
Yeah, they're going to a bowl. LSU's in a bowl game. Missouri's in a bowl game. Tennessee will probably be in this playoff field. South Carolina's going to be in a bowl game, probably because they're going to get snubbed here. The ReliaQuest Bowl here in Tampa.
Yeah, that lost all its aura. Let's be real. That ReliaQuest Bowl name is just not that great.
And Team Bloomin' Onion or Team Coconut Shrimp, RIP.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed the Tostito Bowl. Which one was that? Where was that?
That was a Fiesta Bowl.
Or Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, now it was, at one point it was called the what was it? At one point it was called the it was called the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's called like the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing when PlayStation didn't hold on to that, but it is what it is. But yeah, USF's going to the Hawaii Bowl. Georgia is basically their first round bye. Vandy going to a bowl game, well earned. Western Kentucky going to a bowl game and just played in their conference championship.
SMU played less bowl eligible teams. A lot less bowl eligible teams. Just including that out there for Alabama. But recency bias may play a factor. I don't know. I miss the old BCS era where just the computers decided it. We didn't have to deal with all this nonsense.
Yeah, I know. You know what's funny is they showed the committee today when they were watching the games, and somebody was like, "There's not a snack in sight. Don't trust these people."
And it's like how they keep recreating different bowl names. It's crazy. Wasabi
sponsors and all that.
I know.
It's all about the sponsors.
Pop-Tart Bowl.
I'm still waiting for the Publix Sub Bowl.
Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
The Publix Bowl needs to be the one in either Camping World or Tampa.
It needs to be, or it could be the Publix Gasparilla Bowl.
Ooh, how about Gasparilla Bowl?
That's already a bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
Yeah. All right. Well, back onto the topic of hand before we get too off topic now. All right. So I think our lock matchup is going to be the Penn State-Ohio State one. We all agree on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Ohio State.
I feel like that Penn State-Ohio State matchup's a lock.
It's either going to be that
or the lock, and I think we get that Penn State-Ohio State rematch. Mm-hmm. James Franklin gets another crack at it to see if he can finally beat Ryan. Well, I mean, beating Ryan Day is not a big accomplishment, but I mean, I guess it is for him.
Yeah.
Ryan Day beating the team up in Ann Arbor now, that's a different conversation for a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Now, Ohio State's going to come in there upset if this does happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go in there pissed.
Yeah. Especially on how that game ended, but, you know, flags being planted and whatnot. Yeah, you're going to have some upset teams on that. That's going to be a bloodbath, I think.
Actually.
But
let me look at Boise State and Arizona State's strength of schedule.
So no, I think what also could be happening is they put Clemson at 4 and they disrespect Boise State a bit, and they give him Boise State at like 10.
Ooh. Oh, let me find Boise on here.
Ooh. I feel like that's some BS they might also do. I didn't really think about it, but I feel like that's some BS they could do too, where they would stick Clemson.
Arizona State.
Arizona State at 3. I feel like it's a lock, but I feel like they would disrespect Boise State. And they'll try to keep this Power 4 nonsense going, and they'll put Clemson at 4 instead of Boise State.
So right now, I mean, as far as strength of schedule goes, Boise State has the disadvantage against Clemson. So Boise State has the 82nd ranked schedule, while Clemson had the 52nd.
Both trash, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't put it past the committee. They would stick Clemson at 4 and disrespect Boise State.
So you think that
I would think they would put Boise at 10.
And then, so Indiana would go to play Notre Dame.
Indiana will go play Texas, and they would put either Alabama or SMU at 12.
So you got.
Oh.
You got the Tide rolling into Indiana. And then you got
basically Indiana to Texas.
Oh my gosh, you're asking for some murders.
Yeah.
Also, this one that could be interesting too. One other one before we head on out is they send Indiana to South Bend. So you get a Battle of Indiana, and then you still get your Alabama-Texas game for the ratings.
Ooh.
Hey, y'all put me in the committee. I don't care.
Honestly, I think there's a lot of people that would probably vote you in.
Yeah. you got a little bit more brains up here than they do over there.
Quite honestly, I like this.
Yeah.
I could
hey,
get with this.
I can see Indiana actually upsetting Tennessee. I can see that. I ain't gonna lie, I can see that happening.
You can see Indiana upsetting Tennessee and kneeling?
Hey, just give it to Gene T like 35 times.
Oh, you see Boise, you mean Boise upsetting Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Boise State. I'm stupid. You know, Indiana. Okay, Indiana was up in that 7th spot for like a little minute there. My brain forgot that we switched to like half a second ago. No, sorry, it's like what 12:35. Anyways, yeah, I can see just give it to Gene T 35 times to let him run it down the throats.
All right, just let you know now though, Tennessee's defense is not UNLV or. Well, I was gonna say.
I know.
They did lose to Oregon.
Tennessee?
No, Boise.
No. Oh, yeah.
It's Oregon.
That's true.
But if we're looking at all the teams in this bracket here of who Boise State could beat, I could see probably Notre Dame and Tennessee probably being the most likely.
Yeah.
That's fair, honestly. After what we saw tonight, too, Clemson.
Oh yeah, Clemson too. But I'm talking about like in the outer bracket, like the top 4.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with that.
Like on first round matchups, kind of thing, you know.
I agree. Now,
if they don't get that 4th seed like they should.
Now I could see also too, because based off of how this goes. what's going to happen is I know they're going to take the New Year's Six bowls and break those up into like the quarterfinals and then the semifinals and everything. So I think what will happen is based on geography, that geography will finally play a role too. I think a lot of these teams will determine their destinations from there. So depending on what the semifinal games are and what the quarterfinal games are, expect Georgia to possibly take the Peach Bowl or the Sugar Bowl. Expect Clemson to maybe take the Orange Bowl as the ACC representative.
These games are what, next week, right?
Say again?
These games are next week. The
first round games will be in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then the next one are New Year's 6.
New Year's 6 will be, I think, around New Year's, and then I believe you got
the college championship is the normal one.
Yeah,
top left corner is going to take the Rose Bowl. I just know it. I think Oregon's going to be playing at the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah, Oregon definitely will take. They'll definitely take the Rose Bowl, and then the Cotton Bowl will likely go to Arizona State.
Nah. Oh yeah, and then you'll give the Sugar Bowl to probably Clemson.
No, Sugar Bowl is in it. Sugar Bowl, I think, goes to Georgia because usually the SEC champ usually takes the Sugar Bowl. Let's see.
Well, I'll just say like the Peach Bowl. I feel like the Peach Bowl would be Georgia's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So,
but that's like the semis, not the quarters.
Let's see. So, when are the bowl games announced? Let's see. So, right now, Friday, December 20th, and Saturday, December 21st, you're going to have 9 at 8, 12 at 5, 11 at 6, and 10 at 7. And then from there, you get the quarterfinals where you will have Tuesday, New Year's Eve, and then Wednesday, New Year's Day. You have the 1 seed against the number 8 or 9, the 4 seed against 5 or 12, the 2 seed against 7 or 10, the 3 seed will face 6 or 11. So it's not the whole, lowest seed goes here, highest seed goes here. So let's say the 12 seed does beat the 5. From what it looks like, they still play the 4. If the 12 seed wins, they don't go play the 1. So if you win in your 12, you go play 4.
Yeah, it's like a fixed bracket.
Yes. And then from what it looks like, the semifinal games, January 9th and 10th, will be the Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl.
Honestly, to be honest, that kind of actually works out for the 12's favors. So if you're 12, right, you don't go playing the best team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because that'll just be a bloodbath. Like, go back to the 2 brackets ago. Just spam undo, and I'll tell you when to stop. So back to Boise State at 4.
Okay. Right here?
Yeah, all right, here. So, like, this works out for Clemson's favor, where instead of them having to go play Georgia, they end up going to play Boise State, or vice versa, where it's Clemson at 4, Boise State is at 12, Boise State beats Notre Dame, they go to play Clemson instead of Oregon. Meanwhile, if you're the 8 or 9 seed, you probably have a better shot at beating Oregon than you would if you were Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out for them. But if this is what the bracket is, I'm guaranteeing you that Texas-Alabama game and that Ohio State-Penn State game are 2 night games.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
They will put Clemson-Alabama on Friday, and then they'll put Ohio State-Penn State on Saturday night.
Notre Dame, Clemson.
I mean, Alabama-Texas, they'll be the Friday night game, while Notre Dame-Clemson is the Friday afternoon game or something like that. And then they would have Tennessee, because it's the Volunteers, they have that big fan base. They would have them the afternoon game on Saturday, and then they would put Penn State, Ohio State Saturday night.
At night.
For the whiteout.
Ooh, whiteout. Committee knows what they know what they
let's wrap
doing.
it up. I think that would work.
Y'all should be in the committee.
Yeah,
you should be in the committee.
I feel like we do a good job.
Look,
we do a good job.
according to some fan bases, we don't love certain things, and according to other fan bases, we're these horrible people and everything.
I mean, hey, we all think differently. We all look at it differently. I mean,
No, some people some people out here have selective hearing. That's what it is. Some people have selective hearing.
That's true.
There's only a few things I don't like. I'm mostly objective on a lot of things. There's only a few things I'll just purely hate. Looking at you, number 3 up in Pittsburgh.
Look.
Hey, so did Dalton go undefeated?
Go Chanceberry.
What did you say?
Did Dalton go undefeated? Wait, you know what? Did Dalton go undefeated? Let's see.
I don't remember if he took Clemson or SMU.
He took SMU. Yeah, I know he missed one.
Damn.
Okay, so but that's pretty on par to what it was of.
That's why I like when
last week too. That was what it was last week too. Remember, he missed like 1 or 2 in the college football side.
That's why I was like when he said like Tulane, like we did the AAC bowl. I was like when Army won,
I blew that one. I didn't think Tulane would get their butts kicked so bad. But anyways, let's wrap it up, I guess.
Mr. Sassor actually ended up going. What was it?
5-1,
3, 4, 5, 6-1.
6-1. That's crazy.
I went 5-2.
I was terrible.
You were, I think what?
Did I?
I think I took Iowa State over Arizona State for some reason.
Did I take Georgia?
For the memes.
Did I take Texas? I don't remember.
You took Georgia.
Yeah, I thought I did.
I took Georgia. I took Oregon.
Thought I did.
And then I don't remember the rest. Anyways, all right. This was fun. I'm going to keep it short. We're going to keep yapping if we keep going.
Yeah.
Also, before we do go, shout out Willie Simmons. Got the job at Florida International.
Hey, that's going to be my USF head coach in 2026. What you mean? Or 27. We 1 to 2 years.
It's in 2028. Also, shout out Scott Frost getting a job back at UCF. He never should have left UCF, I felt. I'm just going to say
we're stuck with a Russian spy as our head coach in USF.
Oh, real quick. Army, Navy. Who do we got? I mean, I know it's a couple weeks away. Yeah. Army.
Yeah, Army.
Obviously.
Army's more fresh.
Army's run game is just insane.
Yeah. They're monsters.
I would have just loved to see a Boise State Army game for the memes of just like sitting there and just watching 35 handoffs on each side.
Yeah, that's like a 60 points each way. No defense involved.
60 points each way, but it's also going to be like a 4 hour, not a 4 hour, a 1.5 hour game because the clock will go so fast.
Yep. Possessions would be like 2 minutes.
Possibly.
No, the possessions would be like 8 minutes a drive if it's like no big runs happening. So it'll just burn all the clock and then they can't run commercials.
Sponsors would be pissed. But all right, so am I closing this out now?
Yeah, I feel like this is the best one. This is the most fun.
So I hate to say it, but yeah, folks, I feel like SMU might get snubbed.
All right, let's rephrase it. This is the fun one, and hit the redo button, or you can't go back forward.
Oh,
you can't go forward.
You think the Boise State Tennessee thing?
Yeah, that's the no fun one, or the logical one where it's SMU at Notre Dame, Clemson and Tennessee and Indiana and Texas.
Yeah, I think Texas.
But I still think that 8-9 is guaranteed.
Texas at Alabama is going to happen. That's guaranteed. 8-9 is going to happen.
Yeah,
just a matter of 7-10, 5-12.
11 happen.
I feel like you could really flip flop 5-12, 7-10 all day.
I'm telling you, if this is how it shakes out, I guarantee. I'm telling you, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this.
Well, with that being said, guys, thanks for another great episode. I didn't consider this an episode. This is just like a fun preview projection thing at the late night hours. We forgot to bring the booze. Oh, well. Anyways, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. See y'all on Wednesday for the Running Gun Podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes. Wow, we got this in under 40 minutes. Nice.
All right, hit the end button to make sure we get this under 40.
All right.
See y'all Wednesday.
Well, you got 30 seconds left. Just kidding now.